Alright, well, I looked it up and apparently this game is about 4 to 5 hours if we read everything. Ish. That seems reasonable. Let's go inside. Look. On the rare occasions he is home, Pa can be heard bumping around up here while tending to his hoard of stupid antique trash. Or priceless artifacts, you mean? No, you don't. It's locked, but you need to get in here as soon as you can. You peer through the keyhole. Weird. What the heck is that thing? And how long has it been there? Hey, the attic's locked. Cripes, forgot about that. Tactical blunder on my part. Over. It's fine, no big deal. Just left the safety of my room to be eaten by monsters in the hallway because my dorky brother sent me to the safety of the wrong side of the locked door. It's not fine. Over. Jude. Panic not necessary. Still need to get you to the attic. Over. For safety. Right. Well, whatever. I'm trusting you, I guess. Appreciate that. Over. Although so far it really hasn't paid off. Joey, please, just need you to head to trophy room. Over. Oh, gross. I hate that place. Why does he even need a special trophy room when our whole house is just his dumping ground for whatever garbage he picks up on his stupid adventures? We'll find key to attic there. Mysterious whims of absent father, not relevant. Over. Fine. Over and out. Okay. Trophy room. Yeah. Can I use WASD? I was kind of hoping I could use WASD. It would make life moving around a little bit easier when it comes to verticality. Okay, trophy room is somewhere over here, I guess. Doesn't look like... Oh, geez, more things to interact with. Maybe less, though? Yeah, things to look at, I guess. Oh, it's... Some great photos and portraits of your mostly great family. You decide to take a closer look. This is interesting. To Jake, my biggest fan, A. Claire. I'm trying to decide. Some of these, yeah. So these are pictures of probably these two as kids, maybe. Cause yeah, she's wearing glasses. We're not wearing glasses, are we? Now, here's the thing. I don't know how much this is supposed to tie in with Homestuck. Part of the problem is I actually didn't read that far into Homestuck. I got as far as... I don't know how far I got. It's been years. I think I was reading it back in 2012. Went on a huge hiatus, and then poof. Just dropped off the face of the earth, and apparently it finished when I wasn't looking. Which sucks, because I actually rather enjoyed Homestuck. It's just like trying to go back and finding where I was, and then getting through all of that content when it's not just coming out. Seems like a nightmare, especially because they had the games, and like I think you actually looped back on yourself a couple of times reading through it, because it had like a weird password system. It really... Homestuck was this great game. Probably should have been made into a video game first, though, honestly. Oh well. It was kind of a fun experience to watch. Oh boy. You and your very good dog. Aw. Pa and someone you presume is his sister? Nobody he ever mentioned. Not that the two of you ever talked much. Kind of weird you think you might have like a second cousin out there you've never met. Maybe she died young. The old-timey times were pretty rough. Because yeah, this guy very much looks like kind of John. It was John, right? Shit, it's been a while. Or the grandfather. Unfortunately, there's no, like, symbol on, like, his chest, so it's a little bit hard for me to get everybody straight. Let's see if I can look it up. Is there a list of Homestuck characters? Yeah, since it's been so long, I don't actually remember the name of everybody. Yeah, because I'm trying to remember the other characters. Like, you know... Let's go with humans, maybe. Because there's Grandpa. I think he's supposed to be Grandpa. Yeah, he looks like Grandpa. He kind of looks like Jade's grandpa. He's got the same bow tie. Wait. Jade's grandpa. but genetic father and adoptive grandfather. So this is probably grandpa, grandma... But, shit. I'm going to lose my mind trying to do this because, one, I haven't finished Homestuck, so I don't get all the plot points. But also, like, I don't even know if they're relevant, which is a problem. But I think it is. The motifs are there. The outfit is there. The everything is there. The main question is, what? I don't know. Well, whatever. Ooh la la. That there mom is looking Trace Glamnifique. Glamnifique? When you grow up, you hope this is what mirrors will look like. A lovely diptych of school portraits. The laser background, the bad hair days, simple perfection. Simply perfection. Jude puts the dip in diptych, you mutter to yourself. Such an unreal burn on the unsuspecting chump. But he probably wouldn't get it. Come to think of it, maybe neither do you. There aren't any pictures of the three of you together, so you tried to make one, though. Though the art of through the art of composition. By hanging these three solo photos together, it's sorta like there's a photo of all three of you. Sorta. You and Jude have a lot of fun memories with your babysitter. By now, probably more than with Mom and Pa combined. You always thought of her as the kind of cool and fun older kid you wanted to be. Until you got old enough to realize she's a pretty sucky role model. You wonder what her family is like, but it's probably not your place to ask. You can't even look at this picture. You deplore cruelty to animals. One of the many ways you and your father never saw eye to eye. One of the other ways was how he never actually looked at you much, let alone at your eyes. Pa used to be great with animals. You wonder what happened? Maybe a betrayal? No, impossible. Look at how good that dog is. That dog never betrayed anybody in his entire life, and you would stake your entire reputation on it. The whole thing. This is interesting. This is like either like the super hidden backstory of like way more Homestuck than I was expecting, or other stuff. I'm not sure. This guy, what's he so happy about anyway? His expression probably made more sense in its original context. That is to say, whatever tomb or temple or whatever that your pa plundered him from. Oh, we got more things. Huh? You're about to think up some snarky quip about how these two things are obviously not related. So why would you try to use one with the other? Jeez. But something about this key does remind you of snakes. Weird. You have a feeling that these two things aren't actually related in any practical way, though. What the heck were you thinking, trying to use them together? It doesn't even have a keyhole. Come on! Yummy bits. This snake is a statue, and cares little for your treats. You, for your part, care little for snakes. You put a pog in the serpent's mouth. Nothing. You reach to pick it back up, but it's gone. What the heck? Is there something mysterious about the statue? Could it be a... No, wait, there it is. There's the pog. It was in the mouth after all. So, head to the trophy room? Affirmative. Over. Got it. Over and out. Well, that was easy enough. What else we got here? Not too much more. Well, seems the power's out. That should make the trophy room quite the adventure, which is to say not quite the adventure you wish you were having right now. Well, it would seem the power's out. Classic psyops over. What? Credit where it's due. Best way to destabilize countermeasures. Leave you in the dark. Literally over. Not literally. It's still like late afternoon. I can see fine. Should have no trouble getting to trophy room then. Over. Fine then, Mr. Mission Control. Yes, great. Over and out. My god, this house is a labyrinth of things that I might not be able to look at. No, never mind. There we go. Oh my god. What the hell is wrong with this place? Every square inch of it is covered in... What the hell? At least most of it can't be interacted with, I think. The ladies in these paintings are eerily beautiful, although maybe everyone would look like that in blue. The lamp, goodness. I'd like to meet the lady who modeled for it someday. Yeah, nothing else to interact with. It might actually get a little sparser as we go along, just because. Which is good, because I'm terrified of having to read as much as I do. This piece was too depressing, so you gave it a nice refinishing. If your pa has a problem with it, he's welcome to say so the next time he's actually around. Huh. You wonder when, if you'll be driving by then? To college? Where you teach because you're an adult and 20 years have passed? That is depressing. Anything to interact with? Sort of. Look, a piano can be used to turn the slight motion of one's fingers into music. These ivories, how they beg to be tickled. But you mustn't. Also, you can't. Play Haunting Melody. Oh, that would be just the thing, wouldn't it? Just some kind of eerie, lonely sonata to really set the tone for the adventure ahead. Something in a minor key, maybe? It's a shame that would probably provoke a bunch of monsters to eat you. Also, you really can't play the piano. There is so much just wackadoodle nonsense. Sometimes when you hold your heirloom, you do hear music in your mind. A sweet and tinkling sound. A song. Bewitching and alien, yet naggingly familiar. Like the theme song to a show that you only watched when you were really little. That nobody else remembers. It haunts you sometimes. And thus, you do not hold your heirloom at all that often. Or all that often. And the only treat this piano would respond to is good tuning. And removal of all the shit stuffed into it. That is not good for a piano, by the way. Well, the pogs fit pretty snugly between the keys. That much is clear. But doing this benefits neither the pogs nor the piano. Pet vet, the doctor is out. One of your pa's recent victims. You love animals. He loves killing animals and turning them into ghoulish trophies, celebrating his victory over nature. Yeah, big man as long as he has his big stupid gun. It's a bear your pa shot and turned into a trophy. Now all his friends who come into this room will think, oh, this guy shot a bear, okay. Except for, he doesn't really have any friends, and he's never here. So it's just a nice, big, horrifying thing for you to have to deal with. No, you don't think you'll be putting your precious heirloom in this poor fella's grotesque remains. You doubt this creature has any interest in chowing down, seeing as it lacks the requisite organs and all. As an aspiring veterinarian, you are sometimes forced to temper your sentimentality with a cold dose of biological expertise. You're tempted to stick the rest of your pogs into this poor creature's mouth and be done with them, but sadly it is already stuffed to the brim with useless filler. You think it might be bear keying up the wrong tree. Barking. I got it. Aw, look at that face. He really does look like he's rearing up for a treat, or to slap someone's head clean off with a single swipe of his incredible paws. One or the other, though. For sure. You can't use the pogs with this animal. They're just unbearable. A beanbag chair, super comfy and thankfully not filled with real beans. You could take a nap, but you've kind of got a lot going on right now, you know? You dig your heirloom into the chair, tearing a little hole in it. It's full of styrofoam. Not beans at all. You're crushed, but you soldier on. No pets on the furniture, even the furniture. Pogs. Beanbag chairs. Boy, it sure is the current year that you live in. 1994, you mean? Mm-hmm. What's this thing? Pa's major totem of power. The clunky gadget controls the TV, the garage door, the toaster, the thermostat, and pretty much everything else with a charge. Whoops. Everything else with a charge running through it. It's pretty hefty. Scavenge. You pop them in this behemoth, and score, you pocket the E-cell batteries. Right in the old Silodex. Ah, shit. No, you need them more than that remote does. Especially because its owner isn't even here. Ugh. Good old Pa. The achievements are great. You don't need any extra energy to use a beanbag chair. In fact, the less energy you have, the better a chair they seem to be. No, this isn't the depowered mode or anything. Look, whatever this bear does, he's already doing it as hard as he can. If you intend to Frankenstein Pa's little project back to life, you're gonna need a lot more electricity, and blatant disregard for ethics. You'd play the note that matches the letter of these batteries, but you don't know how to play the piano. That would have been pretty cute, though. Anything else to interact with in this giant horror mess? Yes. Yes, in fact, I'm gonna go back a bit, unless I'm gonna go anywhere. Was there anything to interact with this window? Nope. Also, batteries on self. These batteries are huge. As far as you know, they don't fit anything but the universal remote. But hey, the night is young. This lamp makes you blush brighter than the lamp itself. You've always enjoyed this painting, particularly because the lion looks so alive. Whoever painted it must have had a really good imagination. Either that or they painted it really, really fast. The Teddy Bear Outpatient Clinic is for stuffed animals who require treatment, but not an overnight stay. It's just not for. It's not just for stuffed bears, of course. It was named for its founder, the chief physician, Ursula Teddy Bear. Oh, not take? No, it's not taken. Huh? Weird. Weird. I don't know. Okay. Boy, your pa really gets inventive with his taxidermy, huh? What a ghoul. Something about this key and clockwork is so compelling to you that it almost distracts you from the Frankensteinian winged bear. The bear couldn't enjoy a treat, as its intestines are clearly a clock. What? When is it time for Pogs? Barely ever. It is powered by that pendulum. Wow, look at it go. Let's leave. Just as you passed into the living room, pulling the door shut behind you, it shuddered as something heavy and wet slammed against it from the other side. I can't see anything in the trophy room. It's way too dark. Odd. Rest of house navigable? Over. Considered utilizing flashlight? Over. You mean the one you filled with your pogs? That flashlight? Joey, please. Over. No use dwelling on the past. Over. It doesn't matter anyway. Something's blocking the door to the trophy room now. Something? Over. Yeah, I'm not sure what. Strange. For now, recommend focus on restoring power before sun sets completely. Over. Oh, geez, you're right. Okay. I'll do that. Thanks for the reminder. Need electricity to retrieve key anyway? Over. What? Can't discuss over unsecured channel. Over and out. What? Any hot tips for getting the power back on? Power outage seems to grant invaders significant power advantage. Over. That's not really a tip. It's more like an explanation for why I'm trying to do it. Not sure what to tell you. Circuit breaker probably in basement. Over. See, that was very helpful. Thanks. Doing my best. Over and out. Oh, nope, nothing I can interact with there. And it doesn't look like it can go back upstairs for the time being. Maybe I can. That is horrifying, actually. Look. Just your reliable, portable cassette player, complete with headphones. Jude can occasionally be found using it to even further isolate himself from reality. Salvage. Dead batteries, of course. Seems to be a running theme. Holding your heirloom near the cassette player, you could swear you briefly heard some tinny music coming out of the little headphone speakers, but the batteries are dead, right? You double-checked, they're definitely dead. That was weird, possibly not quite dead batteries or not. It wasn't even turned on. This cassette player, like most others, asks only for batteries, not processed animal byproducts shaped like little bones. Sorry, cassette player, you're fresh out of AA's, AAA's, the whole A family, really. You know well enough that any attempt to interface the Pogs with the cassette player would be futile. Not even a compact disc player could make use of these particular discs. They're too big. You know, you're beginning to kind of wish you didn't have to use batteries for everything. Unfortunately, there's no alternative and never will be. Anything else I can click on in this general area? We have the TV. There's a big screen. Got the cable hookup and everything. It's your home altar. Your method of worship is listless vegetation. The gods reward you with glimpses of the divine. Clarissa, Alex Mack, and the cool green lady from Reboot. You really like her. She's, yeah, cool. Oh, she's cool. Would these puny puppies be able to power this big boss hog of a television set? Unfortunately, no. Nope, these things are basically the opposite of TV, and you don't want to cause an explosion. The TV has a habit of displaying cute animals, especially when you're in charge of the remote, but it is not itself an animal, cute or otherwise. That scratched the screen. And more importantly, might scuff the edge of your precious heirloom. And for what? For what? Sorry, you're a little on edge right now. Anything else? Yep. This bookshelf contains several of Pa's books, including Pistols to Pelts, How to Turn Sweet Intelligent Animals into Weird Rugs and Stuff, Teach Yourself Taxidermy, I guess, and Safari, Stories of Bold Men and the Animals They Killed from a Distance, even though they weren't hungry and did not intend to eat them. This whole thing is way too cluttered to be a good hiding place. Plus, you've already elected to keep this thing close, remember? You're like 90% sure you remember that. Loose paper and animal treats. Wow, that sounds like just really doing a great way to get mice. Not that they'd last long in this house, considering you should rather not think about it. It was bad enough with that thing in the house. Now there's monsters too. Great. Getting to sleep tonight is really going to be easy now. Always assuming you don't get killed before that. Think positive, Joey. See puzzles, find solutions, and trying to avoid creating a perfect little furnished nest for rats to move into. Books don't need batteries, they're simply books. All they need is you. Or rather, that's all they need to enjoy them. Books don't particularly need you at all, really. Pogs, aside from being beings that you flip, and being made of paper, they're pretty much the opposite of books, although those similarities aren't easy to discard. Now that you think about it, a pog is basically a tiny nibble of an enormous book feast. Alright, is there anything else over here? How did we get to the basement? Oh, probably through there. Oh no, we probably have to go to Joey's room to get there. Now that I'm looking at it. There's some shit. Oh wait, did I ever check this door? I don't know if I can. Oh, look. You can't tell if the noises you hear are from the monsters of the wind. Either way, it's either some particularly wishy monsters or some really groany wind. Leaving the protection of your house seems like a bad idea. Might be creatures and weirdos ahoy out there. You think you will stay inside, where your chances of meeting creatures and weirdos are still pretty good, honestly. Nope, your front door doesn't even lock, actually. Which, troubling in its own way, honestly. The three guardians who encircle in triangle the entranceway to your home do deserve some treats, but their dedication to their duty wouldn't permit them to pause in their vigilance, even for a moment, even long enough to scarf a sweet treat. That'd be littering. Plus, when you open the door, a monster might dash in and kill you. Pog littering is not the thing you want to die doing. You don't even want to die at all. You don't need batteries. You could just turn the knob. If you didn't care that it'd probably get you killed by a big monster. But you do care. You care a lot, frankly. This is a fascinating game where I don't do much of anything apart from read. But that's okay. I actually rather appreciate practice reading and messing around. Also, this is a wonderful world to just kind of look at. The power's off, and as such your fax machine is basically useless. This is an unacceptable state of affairs. The battery-powered fax machine had its season in the sun, and that season was called the 80s. You're an 80s kid, so you love to reference things like fax machines with nostalgia, even though you obviously still have a fax machine right here in your kitchen. Decade-based identity can be a tough row to hoe. You'd love to send a pog fax to some rube, but it's just not possible without any power. Which is just as well, considering now is a terrible time for surreal pranks. No power, no faxing of pet treats. Yep, the power failure is literally the only obstacle to that activity. Try as you might, you cannot use the green key to access the innards of this fax machine. You doubt there's anything important in there. Anyway, it's just gears and ink. Look, you visualize all the delicious items that could be in the cool embrace of the refrigerator, but are not. Snack. It's empty. Food shopping has become sporadic of late. Turns out tipsy babysitters are fairly bad at responsibilities. Look, you're not saying you never have home-cooked meals. Your babysitter is a pretty good chef, even. It's just, well, none of you like doing the dishes, and the nice thing about takeout is you can just eat it right out of the boxes and throw the boxes away. Of course, none of you really like taking out the trash either. The sound you heard since you entered the kitchen grows louder as you approach. The awful static is like nothing you've ever heard, and you want to go back to not hearing it as soon as possible. You turn the radio off. It's off, and it'll stay that way. Wait, what? That's the tuner. It's for tuning the radio. Yep, by golly. Look. The radio is clearly, although weirdly functional, despite not being plugged in. You might be onto something here. Pop open. You open the battery compartment. Look. Okay, good. If the radio didn't need batteries to make those noises, you'd have to upgrade the Spookitude to business class Spookitude, and frankly, you can't afford that. Jackpot, D-cells. You can never have too many batteries, and never in too many different sizes either. Your babysitter has just really atrocious taste. You're only 14, and even you can tell this is really crummy. Anything over here? Nope. Okay, stuff to interact with again. More batteries. Your babysitter told you that if you put a dead battery in the fridge, and then wait 3 to 7 days, and take it back out, it'll still be a dead battery, but it'll be sort of cold now. You aren't sure she was really telling you this, if you're being honest. She was sort of just staring off into space with an empty bottle in her hand. Not even the fridge can make Pogs cool. Oof, that one wasn't your best work. Nah, they'll keep okay at room temperature. Boy, solving the mystery of your heirloom is turning into a real cold case. What about the other battery? Nope. Okay, so I only have to use one battery at a time. That's good. These boxes are pretty greasy. You don't think putting the batteries in them would be good for whatever you tried to put them in later, when you actually had a good idea. You really need cylinders to properly store Pogs, like a flashlight or... Oh! That's what those dang Pringles cans Jude leaves around upstairs are. The possibility that those cans are all filled to the brim with Pogs chills you like a cold wind of another world. Take-out treats for pets is actually a pretty cute idea, you gotta admit. If veterinarian ballerina tap dancer doesn't pay the bills, you've always got boutique delivery pet treats to fall back on. It's $1 million idea. You wonder, if your mom were still around, would you eat less takeout food? Is wondering that sexism? You don't know the answer to either question, so you put your heirloom back in your pocket. Look. The sink is full of dirty dishes. Someone should clean these up. Clean. No way. No way. You did them last time. It's Jude's turn now. You know what? After he completely ditched you for the treehouse earlier, maybe it can be Jude's turn for quite some time. Battery on dirty dishes. You debate whether to comment on the possibility of using battery acid to clean the dishes, or to wryly suggest that the rotting food might be giving off some kind of chemical energy. Neither bit really grabs you, so you just move on. Dirty dishes and dirty discs. A match made in hell, right here in your kitchen. Pets will like these treats right out of your hand, or even better, you can throw them right into their mouths. Dirty dishes that have been sitting out for a few days don't even need to enter this conversation. Your heirloom. The only thing you really have of your mom's. You think you'll just throw it down the garbage disposal. Nah, of course not. But geez, you can't shake this weird feeling you have about it. Today, you hold it tighter. Oh my god, there's still more. There's so much more. There's so much to interact with. It's a little time. You're even out of dog food? Things have really gotten desperate. You guess you can't blame your babysitter for running off to the store for groceries at what was retrospectively the worst possible time. Batteries aren't good for dogs. They aren't good for people either. Or the environment. All batteries are good for is powering the many, many devices you rely on for a level of luxury that you take absolutely for granted, until the minute the batteries run out. Oh, your dog has much better taste than that. It's empty. Thankfully, you have your pet treats as backup, but you gotta deal with this pretty soon. Pet treats alone do not a balanced pet diet make. The bag of dog food is already unlocked, and alas, utterly plundered. Your sweet loyal dog loves that flap. Jude used to like it too, when he was younger. He still likes it. Maybe you could rig up some kind of trap to knock to shock the monsters when they tried to turn the knob? This is stupid. These little garbage chips would be no defense against the monsters if you open this door. I gotta check. Oh yeah, here we go. This thing usually operates by your big loot of a dog shoving her goofy snout through it. As such, it needs no batteries. Gosh, you really love your dog. Okay, pogs on this. Can't decide which of these overwrought pog designs deserves to be flung out the dog flap more. The flaming skull eating an 8-ball, or the flaming 8-ball eating a skull. Either Jude finds these designs more appealing than you do, or he likes to keep some filler pogs in strategic caches to bolster his pog strategies. Possibly both? Probably both. You would try to summon your precious dog for support, but your precious dog is currently cowering in the doghouse. You can see her through the window. You'll let her stay there, where it's safe? Safer, anyway. There's no lock on the doggy door. It's not even a door, more like a turgid flap. Love the word turgid. These little garbage chips would be no defense against the monsters. Okay, we already did that one. If you're going to beckon your dog with a pet treat, you'd at least use the doggy door, but you'd actually prefer she stay in the relative safety of her doghouse, then try to brave the crossing. No, this door doesn't have a lock. None of the entrances to your house do, actually. You guess you're lucky this is usually a safe little town. Anything else over here? Yep. Look. A shaker full of seasoned all magic spice mix. Your babysitter is a terrible cook, but she dumps this stuff all over everything, and it actually tastes pretty good. Maybe it really is magic. Whatever you're trying to do would probably be a lot easier if you just picked up the spice mix first. Well, let's get the spice mix. Magic spice mix. Of course, everyone knows there's no such thing as magic. It's all faked with chemicals and stuff. Still, those chemicals are delicious. Let's see, can I get her over here? Do we have anything else in this giant mess of anything? I have a new thing to interact with everything with. That is a problem. Even if there were dog food in there, that's bound to be a bad move. A dog's sensitive sniffer would get overwhelmed by the potent flavor sensations contained in this tiny shaker. Okay. When there was food in here, maybe. Although, that would have been kind of gross, just dumping dry spice on already prepared Chinese food. I'll suggest it to Jude next time. This usually goes on food while you're cooking it, not into the crusty sink remnants 3 days later. But hey, it's an unusual day, so you give the remnants a dusting. What the That would upset your dog's sensitive sniffer when she tried to use the very door installed for her ease of access. Not that she looks to be in any hurry to use it, being currently preoccupied with cowering in her doghouse and such. You sprinkle some spice mix across the threshold, hoping to mask the human scent in this house from reaching the monsters outside. None of them seem to have any eyes, which your junior veterinarian's training tells you they primarily rely on smell and hearing to track their prey. This spice mix is pretty good, but it can't do much for the flavor of baking soda and a single molding orange. You briefly consider sprinkling some magic spice mix on your powerless fax machine to bring it to life, but it's not quite magical enough to do that. Oh my god, this is going to be a parade of new stuff to click on other new stuff with, and then some. It is endless. It truly is endless. I'm gonna have to go back with this to click on everything else. That'd probably freak out Jude's pet. Probably freak Jude's pet out pretty bad. You don't like the thing, but you're not cruel. The tube highway that Jude's pet uses to get around the house. You haven't seen it tonight, fortunately. The thing just moves under its own power. Between Pogs, the gross pet, and the paramilitary conspiracy stuff, Jude has a lot of strikes against him in the salvageable male category. No, these aren't for Jude's pet. It has a very specific diet. How can you be so disgusted by Jude's pet and love this key so much? Well, because they're nothing alike. Not in the slightest. What the hell? This mummy is currently blocking your access to the rest of the house. He has been ever since your paw left him here months ago. Move. Yeah, not a lot of chance you being able to move. Pharaoh Napoleon over here. Alright, next up. Whatever's keeping this fellow from rotting, it seems to be doing the trick on its own. But the minute he starts to go bad, you'll be ready to spice him. Spice him till he's fragrant. Yeah, he may look like a fine piece in his linens and his pauldrons and his sunrise-looking hat and his tight pants, but does this chump even know what a battery is? Did he ever? Nah, I didn't. You try to slip one in his pocket, but the pants are too tight. Geez, just look at them. They're like painted on. It's like, wow. What were you doing? If you create an association in your dog's mind between mummy and food, you're gonna walk in here one morning and find a heap of linen and chewed on bones with a silly hat perched on top. Huh, you wonder which is older. Weird. Even though you know your heirloom is pretty old, it doesn't show any signs of wear whatsoever. Looks like it could have been made today. Anything else here? We've got a door. With the power out, you're gonna need some kind of light source before setting foot down this broken neck trap. Alright, the last thing is... spice mix on self. A shaker full of seasoned all magic spice mix. This doggone powder adds the taste of flavor to every bite. Alright, well, let's power up our flashlight at the very least. Another electric device successfully powered through clever manipulation of resources in your immediate environment. You are on fire. With your flashlight fully functional, and in a fit of fighting form, you feel significantly better equipped to handle most low-light environments, and also to beat the bejesus out of any of those creeps that get too close. Although that's a last resort, of course. Holy crap, we are going to be reading forever, but that's actually kind of fun. So, with that in mind, I guess I will see you guys on the next Reading Forever episode. And as always, thanks for watching.